Hello, and welcome to the Psychology Department here at Old Dominion University. To start, psychology is housed under the College of Sciences. So what this means is that when you've earned this degree, you will get a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology. I put the department website up on this slide just because I want to start with the importance of exploring what our department has to offer you in terms of experiential learning and research opportunities, and just to kind of give you a better idea of what our vision is as a department and who we are as a faculty. The other helpful resources that I put under the major declaration link are the academic advising form and the psychology curriculum sheet. So what you'll do is you'll initial and sign and date the academic advising form at the end of this presentation, and you'll also want to look at the curriculum sheet that aligns with the semester and year that you started here at ODU, which is your catalog year. DegreeWorks is the computerized version of this curriculum sheet, and you always want to kind of look at the two just to make sure that you see how they both sync together. In terms of who we are as advisors, I'm Jennifer Muth, and these are my colleagues Suzanne Morrow, Crystal Dunaway, and Erin Moore. And this is our wonderful advising assistant, Danielle Cuffey. And whenever you have advising needs, please email psychadvising@odu.edu. So the first item of business on your academic advising form is really an emphasis on student responsibility. So we're going to walk you through and tell you everything that you need to know, but can't guarantee that you're not on another screen looking at some social media or whatever. So go ahead and initial by that first line there. The second item of business is really our role as advisors here at ODU. I like to think of it as us as a facilitator of information, and it's a collaborative relationship between you and us. So you'll tell us what your career goals are, and we'll say this is the path by which to maximize the odds of you reaching that goal. The information sources that are available to you are the catalog, the university catalog, which you can obtain on the homepage at www.odu.edu. You also want to look at the registrar's homepage for important dates and other things to be mindful of during your journey here at ODU. And certainly the Psychology Department Academic Advising page, which is available through the department website as well. So the requirements that you see on the curriculum sheet outline the lower division requirements, the upper division requirement, and the second page of the curriculum sheet outline the psychology major requirements. And so we're going to start with the gen eds very briefly. And just to start, usually the gen eds are satisfied by an appropriate associate's degree. And you can check to see that if you have an associate's degree that your gen eds have been met by referring to DegreeWorks or to your test scores in Leo Online. So the two things that we're concerned about are your communication courses, so that you have Comp 1 and Comp 2, and your math course, which is college algebra. The other courses that I'm going to discuss, if you have an associate's degree, are pretty much good to go with the associate's degree. So the information lit and research is your computer requirement. And let's say you're not good to go, you don't have an associate's degree, and you still have this requirement to meet, then you would probably want to take 121G because it's a computer course that's geared towards science majors. The oral communication, you see that there's a few options here. This is where you want to look at the course descriptions in the university catalog to look at the choices that kind of most interest you, and let that aid your selection. The foreign language requirement is 0 to 6 credits. There's a few things that make it 0. If you have an associate's degree, your foreign language requirement is waived. Or if you took 2 years of foreign language in one area and 2 years of another, or 3 years of one, then you're good. Or if you graduated before 1986. If you still have to meet this requirement, then you would take Part 1 and Part 2 of the same language. So Spanish 101, 102, for instance, or French 1 and 2, or you could take 6 credits of Japanese. And so that's that. Okay. Human creativity, these are all appreciation-based courses. You don't have to get up there, sing, dance, act, draw, and all that jazz. Just appreciate. Literature, you have a few you can choose from. History, more to choose from. And then philosophy, you'll note that there are some upper-level courses, and I'll explain why I'm noting that in a minute. The human behavior, these are the social science-based courses. We've bolded ones that are complementary to psychology, but you're certainly not limited to those. In fact, you want to take whatever one that you think would be something that you potentially want to minor in. These courses often serve as a springboard to several potential minors. And psychology courses don't count for this perspective because they apply toward the major. The nature of science requirement is 8 hours. Basically, it's 2 courses, a lecture and a lab, and a lecture and a lab. They do not have to be in sequence, but if you do have this requirement outstanding, I would say to go ahead and do it in a sequence just for a savings score of learning. We also recommend biology because there's a lot of biology in psychology. If you're going pre-health or pre-med, that kind of changes the picture a little bit, and we can talk about that at a later time if that applies to you. And then the final gen ed is the impact of technology, which is the incorporation of a technological perspective across a wide variety of disciplines. So you have a lot to choose from. This list is certainly not exhaustive. I also kind of note here to refer to DegreeWorks for the latest list because they are kind of ever adding to this list, and there could be something that you really want to take that's not listed here, for instance. Now, I am going to talk about the upper division option. One of those options is option D, where you take 2 upper-level courses outside of the College of Sciences, because that's where psychology falls under. So if you went with that option, you took one of those upper-level philosophy courses and one of these upper-level philosophies or technologies, you could double dip in a sense. But in that case, you couldn't do CS300T as one of these courses because it falls into the College of Sciences. So just to kind of get into the upper division a little bit more, and this is at the bottom of your curriculum sheet, you'll see that there's 4 options. Option A is the one that most students usually go for. They choose a minor in something that kind of complements what they want to do in psychology. So even if you typed in minor in the search button on the homepage, it would bring up all the different minors that we offer here at ODU. Ones that are complementary to psychology, like if you're interested in forensic psychology, you might want to choose criminal justice for a minor, or if you're interested in clinical or counseling, you might want to choose human services counseling for a minor, and so on. The second major is 120 hours, just like a single major. The second degree is 150 credit hours. That's basically where you're kind of going beyond the 120 and meeting another requirement for another major and getting 150, and then it's a second degree. Option B is your interdisciplinary minor. There's several different interdisciplinary minors, and they're based on a topic that you focus on across disciplines. So, for instance, you could do health and wellness or children's rights and so on. They have a pre-designated list of courses. You choose 4 of those, and you meet the 12-hour requirement, and you're done with that minor. Option C is your international business and regional courses. It has a designated list of courses. You choose 3 from that, and you're done. And as I've already described, option D is where you're taking 2 upper-level courses that are 3 credits each outside the College of Sciences, and that meets the upper division requirement. Now, for psychology, this is a lot of information on one slide, but this is just kind of like the overview of psych, and then we're going to go into it a little bit more in more detail. We require 38 credits. You have to receive a C or better in all of your psychology courses. We only allow 1 200 level to apply toward the 38, and that's intro psych. We require 4 courses, intro psych, 316, which is scientific reasoning and psychology. It requires college algebra as a prereq with a C or better. Quantitative methods, which is Psych 317. This is our stats for Psych, and it requires Psych 316 with a C or better as a prereq. 318W is the writing intensive course for the major. The prerequisites are both composition courses and successful completion of Psych 317. Then we require 4 courses from 4 different areas, 1 from each area to equal 12 credits, and 4 300-400 level credits to equal 12 credits. So all that adds up to 38. So to delve further into it, Area 1, these are the foundational courses. They're more of the focus area is more like biologically, like cognitively focused. You'll choose one from here, and if you choose another one, that can count as an elective. So we recommend that you have a few psychology courses underneath your belt before jumping into this, because these are foundation courses and foundational courses, and they draw from previous knowledge from other psych courses. And so that will help if you have a few. Area 2 is our personality and social processes interest area. Social psych, personality, cross-cultural is what those consist of. Area 3 is our developmental focus, where you can focus either on adolescents, children, or adults and aging. And then finally, the applied area, Area 4, corresponds with various doctoral programs that we offer within our department. We have a PhD in industrial organizational psychology, a PhD in health psychology, a PhD in human factors, and a clinical psychology PhD. The psychology electives, like I said, can come anywhere from areas 1 through 4. So once you take your 1, any extras can count as electives. They can also comprise of the drop-down list of courses that you see at the bottom of the second page of your curriculum sheet. You want to select courses that are going to best prepare you for career and graduate school. So the courses that focus on experiential learning, like internship or practicum, or courses that help you with the research component. These 2 facets are really important to psychology majors, because it gives you those active learning experiences that graduate selection committees or potential employers are going to be seeking for you to have once you get this degree. Another avenue that this lends itself toward is being better acquainted with faculty. There's no better way to get in the know with people than working alongside with them. Okay, so your target is 120 to maintain a 2.0 overall within the major and whatever you choose to minor in, to successfully complete the university writing requirement, and that's both composition courses and the writing intensive course for the major, research methods. And then your final semester, you'll have 2 senior assessments, which we'll talk about when it gets closer to that time. Advising, whenever you need advising, please email psychadvising@odu.edu. Include your university identification number, state the reason that you're seeking advising, and your availability. And if you look at the advising website, it has what days and times that each of us are in. Have your list of questions ready so that we can rock and roll when we meet with you. You can approach other faculty. I included the link to what everyone is doing, so you can pick their brains about career and graduate school advice as well. Pre-registration time is hectic, so schedule your advising meetings early. Your advising hold will be lifted after you view this presentation, and your majors will be declared. Regarding graduation advising, you want to make sure that you come in the semester prior to the semester in which you intend to graduate, so that you can ensure that you are on track, and make sure to run your degree works reports. Get involved with psychology student organizations. We have 5 in our department alone, and we have over 300 at the university, and this is going to directly impact your success. Also, get involved with the Leaders Program. I will definitely put up some more information about how to become a Leaders candidate. And then finally, email Psych Advising, attach your academic advising form, specify if you're a second major and what you want listed first, if that's the case. Make sure that if you're registering online, you're registering for the right section. And make sure you look at the registrar's website for pre-registration and time ticketing information. Welcome to Psychology.